kind of also find this cringe, specifically if the changes is not directly on the RDS itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that is entirely strange. But what I think he could do is to, I think there is a block of code in Terraform where you can say, excuse me, ignore changes in the Terraform lifecycle. There's a block of code called Terraform lifecycle or lifecycle something, and you put ignore changes. And what that means is that if you apply, there is no change that will be applied to that RDS block of resource specifically. That is if the issue persists, right? If let's say anytime he applies, the resources has to recreate themselves. There is a block of code you can reuse called lifecycle. Under the lifecycle, you put ignore changes,
So,
and
Mm-hmm.
that will
so,
help prevent that happening.
Okay.
so what? So while yesterday, last night, I was utilizing Copilot, and it told me to add. I'm not sure if this is the life cycle. I tried to add it, but for
Mm-hmm.
some reason, I was getting errors. What was the error I was getting? I was getting some type of error in the console, and it said I had to provide like a target or just something within that manner. Yeah, I think this is
Oh,
it right here.
Yeah,
Life cycle prevent destroy. Yeah.
you have to provide the resource you were trying to prevent the life cycle on. So you see how you have the
So
life cycle destroyed, and you have to still do like your resource name dot. You see how your resource name dot reference name. Like
where's
that.
that?
Um. So when you use that life cycle, right? Life
Yeah,
cycle that
this.
prevent. Yeah. Right. So ignore changes. You see how, and I have to, you have to provide the resource you are trying to run it on, right?
Okay,
Or
so would
I
this
think
go in the RDS?
I need to
In
look
the
at my
RD?
code,
Yeah.
how to use it. I need to look. So, but try running your code now and let's see what you get. What just run like a
Okay.
Terraform plan.
Okay. Terraform plan right there. It was mighty strange just having to. It's almost like it added almost about an hour and a half to 2 hours to the project.
Mm. So this is creating your, I think you already delete everything.
Yeah, I already deleted everything. It was like just going through it. Actually, I completed this
All right.
yesterday, but it was just something I noticed that it,
Oh, you completed it. Okay, so
yeah.
all right. Do you want to create it? Then we'll try to add one thing to it and see how the RDS reacts to that.
So just hit the Terraform apply.
Yeah, yeah, apply it. Yeah.
Okay. Terraform. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's probably a reason why that is so. It's good to get to the bottom of it. So everyone that is using Terraform, is that same thing happening for everyone, or is it just because
But
I
it
haven't run
happened to me.
Terraform. It happened to you? Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't run
It's
Terraform in a couple of weeks. So I don't know. But the last time I ran it, I didn't. It wasn't trying to recreate my RDS. It shouldn't, because that's even bad. Because imagine you have an RDS in, it should not. Because RDS
Exactly.
is like the most important resource when it comes to your application.
Yeah.
And running and apply that is recreating your RDS is just not good, because that means it's deleting your database and recreating it. So, and recreating a new instance that doesn't have your database in it. So there's definitely something in your code that is causing that. So,
Yeah, yeah, just like even with time efficiency, let's say you have multiple instances and you
mhm.
have to delete them.
Yeah, yeah, there is something there that is causing it to do that. So we'll see.
I noticed the same thing as well when I was doing the. It was until I added the storage encrypted tree. It's called a tree, and that's until then. That's when it stopped recreating the RDS.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's like a setting in your, maybe there's something we need to add. And let me even open my own code and look at my RDS instance. Yes, I don't see any changes in my, I mean, I have the same code I've always used. And I don't even have a life cycle policy in it either. So while that is creating, can you
This, sorry to interrupt. Can you check the provider file to see which version of Terraform is running?
mice?
No, his own,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and
sure.
match it to your own and see if maybe some versions are outdated and need update.
Doesn't
Mm.
have a
So
version.
if you so it's just going to use the latest one if you didn't specify which one. If you don't, I don't think he has like a, we use any AWS provider version,
Yeah,
right? So, but can I see your RDS code?
yeah.
It's right there. All right.
I
Right,
could
so you have,
minimize it.
okay. The only thing I can think about is probably that your snapshots. Maybe there's something with it that is and in my own in the new, once I update the RDS, we're not going to use the snapshot anymore. We're just going to build everything. So the project is actually going to be much simplified in the when I do the update. Like
Yeah,
Terraform is going to migrate the data. Pretty much all the deployment will be done in Terraform. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can think about is, but we'll see. What's recent? Manual. But I just want to see once we run it, I want to see um I want to see what the update is going to be, why it has to recreate the RDS. Because based on what is going to change, that's how you know the reason why it is recreating the RDS. Okay, cool.
So yeah,
That's
it's
done.
done.
All right, let's what can we add? So let's add another.
I think we just type a Terraform plan.
Okay, yeah,
Now you
try.
can see the plan and
Mm-hmm.
to see if we can if it plans to create another RDS instead of applying.
Mm-hmm.
First it says destroy. I noticed that. So let's
All right.
scroll up. You see here?
So all right,
I
okay,
noticed
scroll
this.
down. So custom owned. So you see over there, character name set. Scroll down, please. So it is going to add that. Uh, deletion protection is going to change it from false
False to
to
null.
null. Um, domain, Oh, I think I know what is going on.
If you go further
Domain,
down,
domain
there's
IP, none. Enable. It's going to change it to null. Scroll down. IAM. So
there's
all
an
these settings,
encryption.
yes, all these settings shouldn't matter. But I think what I think is going on is when you because when you are using a snapshot, right? A lot of the information that was already on the database when you use the database to create your snapshot would come into your RDS when you use this code to launch a new RDS using that snapshot, right? So
Yeah.
that's why the code is very small. We didn't have to add password and things like that. So what I think is going on is, and we can test it, right? What I think is going on is when you created the database manually, the settings that are baked into that is different from the the default settings that RDS has here. You understand? So that's why it wants to uh, um, change this because on that one, um, on the original one. So I think a way we can test it is we can use. So you understand what I'm trying to say? Like the whatever setting is in your Terraform code, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
So for example, the deletion protection, right, on this RDS is false, but it's going to change it to null.
Uh,
So currently it
this
is false. Right. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Can you scroll down further down? There will be like the encryption. Can you see the storage encryption? So this is the reason why there's a false replacement. That's that is red itself.
Well, that is true.
So if you add that to the code, it will need to if you um add storage encrypted equals to true, it will need to like replace the RDS. If you check the comments on this Zoom call, there's the code I added to the Terraform script. Just
Mhm.
that part, the Terraform encrypted true.
So is this like a new, yeah, something probably changed on the RDS, right? So just to understand this, right now it is true. It is set to true, but it's going to remove that value and just set it to nothing.
Yeah.
Yes and
Right,
no. Yeah.
right.
And
maybe there's a settings that change from when you manually create the RDS to now. Because let's say you understand what I mean, right?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
in the
yeah, I get
original
what it, yeah,
RDS that you used to create the snapshot, that setting was true then. But now that setting something has changed. So read one is right. So in your RDS code, right? Just
yeah,
take that same storage encrypted, right? Storage encrypted
yeah.
and add it as an argument there in your RDS.
Is that what was sent in the chat? Okay, it was true.
So I think what happened is because the um the snapshot itself, the encryption is true, and in the Terraform script, we didn't specify um if it's false or true. And I think in the new documentation, we need to specify if um the encryption um the storage encryption is true or false. That's the thing. So since there's no um specification if it's true or false, it automatically goes to false. And since the snapshot is true, then it will just keep
Yeah,
repeating the
it's
same thing
just
all over again.
exactly. So does that mean null means, but we don't really put null value in Terraform. So does that mean in its code it's gonna set it to false? Right? Is that what you did? You set it to false. You add that argument and set it to false.
I say it's true.
Or you set it to true in your
It's true.
code. So
Yeah.
okay, all right, I see.
Okay,
So
so
okay, there you go. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
now when I do the Terraform apply, I see no, your infrastructure matches the config. So I don't see that.
Exactly.
As
Exactly.
if I was doing research in the background. So if you do AWS Terraform create DB, so by default, if we do not define the storage encrypted, it is false by default. So overriding that default to true obviously fix the issue. So read one was right.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So Geoff, thank you. So Geoff said
No,
that when we have null value, it just means that's the default value in Terraform.
that's
Okay.
the
So
okay.
that makes sense. So in the default value for RDS now, right? Um the default is the opposite of that, which is like probably false, right? But
Yeah,
in yours it is set to true. So if you want to continue keeping that, right, that's why you had to put the true there. So that way you telling Terraform that yes, for this RGS, I want this value to be true. That makes sense. I've never really paid attention to what those null value means, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. Makes
but
sense.
yes, because I was saying I didn't run into the same issue because obviously I don't have an RGS snapshot from when the setting was the opposite. When it was, I think it was true at some point, and they've probably changed. I noticed you guys know that now when we try to migrate the data into our RDS using Flyway, there's that little something we had to add to the end of the. Uh, I don't know if you guys have run it lately, but we had to add something to the end of the migrate. It's like a flag
Yeah.
you tell you not to do this. It's because something changed. So that could have
Yeah.
been the reason. Yeah,
Honestly, documentations they
Yeah,
change every time.
I know.
yeah,
Just
Yeah, that makes
yeah. I'll
sense.
just destroy it now. But yeah, thanks. This was helpful.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Ridwan. Well,
Yeah,
that's something new to me too, because you shouldn't have to recreate your ideas all the time. No.
I guess we could maybe talk about this during a potential interview.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. All right, cool. Does anyone else
yeah.
need help with something? AWS stuff? Anything? Is Dylan here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you?
Did you ever get a chance to do the video for Azure, or did
Yes,
you
I did. I did. But I just need to, I'm waiting for someone to, I'm waiting for the guy that's doing the illustration intros for me to send it to me so I can post it after that. Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, so most likely this week, this coming week. I already started even I said I was gonna start the dynamic one too. Um
Did you get a chance?
I started putting the notes together. So at some point I'll start recording, most likely probably today or tomorrow.
Yeah, if you want any help with it, man, I'm here. I'll help you with it, whatever you need help with. To get
Okay, what do you want to help me with?
with. It don't matter. Put me on it. I ain't gonna
Okay. All right, sure.
put me on
I'll
it.
think about it. I'll think about because like most of like the things I need, like for example with the video I'm waiting for from the guy, it's just one of those illustration video where I'm saying like in this section we'll create the VPC. So I want to like kind of like do illustration of it. So that way it's kind of like you add visuals to it, right? Most of those things that I need help with is like something like that. And even that is something you have to have a specific skills to be able to do, right? Even I myself, I don't know have the skills to create those illustrations.
He
He
like
knows how to.
the edit person.
No, he's not editing my videos. He's just doing the just those intro videos for me. I edit
Intro.
the videos myself. Yeah, I edit the videos myself. So um he just does the if I need help with like adding some visuals to that's the only thing I don't know how to do. So if I need to add some type of visuals to the um to any of the videos, that's what he's doing for me.
And all these videos that he's doing for you, are they gonna be like a updated version, or are they gonna be like an older version or older model? Because I know AWS, they change everything all the time, and I don't know about
No, yeah, so for my videos, for the videos that I'm updating is all new. That's why that's why I'm redoing all of it 100%. I only use any video from the past if it is still applicable. So because the console has changed, even the VPC lecture I re-recorded I record that over again. So there's like a new VPC stuff. So the EC2 everything is all brand new. But I think the ones I'll keep is like from the old lectures is the videos for creating the videos for installing database and stuff like that. I'll leave those. Not I said it's videos for like installing stuff on your computer, maybe how to sign up for GitHub account, installing Docker, all those ones are still the same. So those are the only ones. But anything with AWS, creating stuff in the console, it will all be recreated. So it'll take me time, but I think I can get it. But I like the new method that I'm using, so which is cutting my time by a large amount because I just do the project, record my screen, then I go back and do the voiceover on it. I think it's better that way. Before I used to do the voiceover while I'm doing it, and it's like it just takes too long to do it that way. So yeah. Yeah, so anytime soon, just expect it. And I'll keep you guys posted. Once I post it, I'll let you guys know. All right, cool. Do you guys have any question or anything else? All right, cool. So make
how the
sure, go ahead.
how the stocks doing? If nobody don't have any you
Yeah,
know,
so yeah, did nobody has any AWS question, right? Or cloud question? All right, cool. So no, it's going well. So you
it's
guys
doing well.
just, yeah, it's going well. It's going really well. I mean, the market is still down. The market is still down, but there is a lot of opportunity in it. So that is the thing to look at. So now that I think, let me see, I think it's time for you guys to start paying more attention to the market now, right? let me see something.
I have a question. Is it have you ever did future trading on a
No,
future trading platform? You ever did that before?
no.
No.
Isn't that the one they borrow you money?
They borrow you money?
Like
I
you,
don't
they let you borrow money upfront to trade. Don't ever do stuff like that. I
I
don't
don't I
know.
don't, I don't, I don't
I
think
don't know
it's
what, honestly, I don't know what future is like. Someone has mentioned it to me before, but honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
I think that's what it is. I think it's kind of within those lines
Like
where you
yeah,
leverage money borrowed.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's like they borrow you, they let you trade with borrowed money, then you have to, I don't know. Yeah, but you
yeah,
guys
but
don't.
I'm assuming you
yeah.
got to
You
be
put an
susceptible.
amount down, and if you lose on the basically on the bet or whatnot, you lose your money too as well.
Well, if you win, then what?
I think if you win, you get I think it's like a big percentage of the amount you borrowed, something like that.
Oh, okay. So GF said, comes in, give the money back. Okay. All right. So GF said it's like you sell the stocks for what you think the future value will be. So not so okay. I still don't understand it. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I haven't done it before, so I don't understand how it works. But don't even unless stuff like that, things like stuff like that, unless you absolutely understand what you are doing and it's something that you've done before, you understand, don't even pay attention to it. Is that stuff like that is you need to know what you are doing and you need to be like a professional person that you just absolutely comfortable with it. But for people like us uh that's just starting out, you don't even need to get into all that. So as I'm saying, you guys minimize the amount of like YouTube content you guys watch, especially when you are trying to trade, because there's too many people have too many informations out there and it's just going to confuse you, right? My friends and I was just even talking about it yesterday. I started trading options overnight. I told my friend he started trading it overnight. So we're trying to get my other friend that lives in Nigeria to start trading it because he's a very smart guy. And he's like, oh, do I need to go watch YouTube videos? Do I need to do this? How long is it? I was like, look, there's nothing you just need someone to show you how it works and you can literally get started just like that. Right. So, so you guys, you don't need to watch too many videos on. So if you want to day trade, right, just do options. And options is very easy to learn. Executing is where the work comes in, but to learn how to trade option, the concept behind it is very easy to understand. And when it comes to option, I only do either call or puts. That's it. And I don't even do puts that much. Most of the time I do calls. So with calls and puts, you are guessing whether you are pretty much predicting whether the stock would go up or go down. You guys keep it very simple. That's all you need to focus on and you'll be fine.
You
So
see, when you say guess, I don't I kind of get confused when you say guess if the market
that's why I
go up,
corrected myself to you are predicting,
predicting.
not
Okay, got
guessing, right? So guess
it.
is kind of like that's why I kind of like corrected myself. You are predicting whether this predicting that the stock price will go to either up or down, right?
But
But
if you predicting if the
mhm,
market gonna go up or down, can you get? I'm assuming they have a market structure that'll show you if the market gonna go up or down, right? Where you can
yeah,
make a logical entry and a logical exit,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
Okay.
right. So that is why. So once you understand that concept, right, then that is when you can use data. That is why you guys see people. Um, that's why you guys see people use data and use tools like this, like trading views, right? To visualize what's going on and find a good entry point and exit point. Okay, right, Geoff, well, that's also a good way to say it. So Geoff said you're speculating, right? So, yeah, so speculating is also a good way to look at it. So either way you look at it, you are just anticipating that the price would be at this level at by a certain time, right? So with that, that is when you use like tools like TradingView, right? It helps you visualize the data. So this how the price is moving, you can see it in like a visual form, which helps you predict what's going on, and it helps you make better decision, pretty
In
much.
in in the market, do you what time do you usually trade at? Like I hear a lot of people talking about the uh the oil market structure or breakout.
What
Do
I
you
what
trade that or you wait later on into the day?
just whenever I see the opportunity to enter a position, that's when I enter. So is not so there are times where the market picks up, right? There are times where people are actively trading. That is first 15 minutes when the market open. So market opens at 9:30 our time, right? The first 15 minutes, there's a lot of trades going on. So people that knows how to trade the first 15 minutes, there's a strategy for that. People that knows how to trade the first 15 minutes, they make money, right? I even had someone that I know, he looks at stuff in pre-market. He by the first 15 minutes, he's already executed his trade. He's out, he's done for the day. By 10 a.m., he's done. So the strategy that I use, I don't even trade the first 15 minutes. I don't,
You trade
right?
what, the 30 minutes or the
So
4 hours?
I wait for the first 15 minutes to be over. Then I trade out. Then I after that point, then I look for a good opportunity to get in a position. Right. But for me, the first 15 minutes will tell me a lot about the price for the day. So
AZ, what is all these little marks on your screen? What is this? I ain't never seen this.
that is my code just printing that I need to probably fix it to uh, I need to fix it um to not print as much. On this chart it's printing it, but it doesn't. I just left it that way because for now it doesn't really bother me because I know what I'm looking at is pretty much doing exactly what I wanted to do. So
Okay, all
so
right. Okay.
I haven't fixed that part. It's supposed to mean something, but I haven't um it just means that if the stock is continuing in an upward trend, right, it will show you that six thing. It means like so this 16 is a scenario. So the S stands for scenario, right? But it has nothing to do with what is going on in the stock market. Is a scenario that I wrote down. It was like I was having conversation with ChatGPT, right? And we I was talking about different things that can happen in the stock market. Like for example, if this happens, then what does it mean, right? So based on all those things, I created different scenarios of if this happened, that this has to happen, right? So then I now asked ChatGPT to turn those scenarios into code for me, right? So it did, and that was the code. That's the code that I'm using in TradingView, right? So now that I'm using the code in TradingView, that's why when you see the 16, it is telling me that my scenario 6 is alerting me that scenario 6 is true, which means that whenever that scenario is true, it means that the
Mhm.
stock is bullish. The price of the stock is going up.
And what time frame is this?
What time frame? Like how?
Like it's just the
Oh,
1 hour.
like my interval?
Yeah.
My interval, I'm using ticks. I'm actually not using time interval. I switch it to ticks, right? So you can say here I'm using 1000 ticks. 1000 ticks means oh, G of, yeah. So it's kind of like a mentorship thing, right? So I do cloud. So mainly it's like people that I have here, I teach them cloud computing. But then also I also trade options on the side and invest, which I do have quite a good success record there. So pretty much anything I'm doing that's working for me, I always share with them. So that's why we're talking about trading. So if we don't have any cloud stuff to discuss, then they'll ask me about how my trading went for the week because they know I'm also trading. So that's why. But at any point, anyone can interrupt me to go back to cloud topics. But it's just because no one has any cloud topics today.
Yeah, so something just came to my mind. Sorry for the interruption. Like,
But go ahead.
just to ask, do you have any experience? Like, sometimes I see like cloud DevOps SOC roles. Like, do you have any experience with any of those type of roles and knowing what it entails of?
Cloud DevOps SOC role.
Yeah, it's more like security,
Yes,
I
it's
guess
more.
security focused. Yeah.
Do,
Yeah, I
do,
mean,
do you mean DevSecOps?
Yeah, DevSecOps. Yeah. DevSecOps. I always see it online in job postings. Just want
uh,
to get an idea if you.
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
I think if you have any type of cloud knowledge, like especially DevOps, you can easily transition into like security role. You can do DevSecOps, right? Because you already understand the DevOps part, which is automation, right? The security part is really just using different tools that whatever your tools your company choose to use to analyze and pretty much scan and do whatever they need to do to secure their environment, either securing or just auditing the environment to check where there's vulnerabilities and you sending it to the team to, okay, well, there's vulnerabilities here. You guys need to fix it. Like something that I got yesterday at work, right? Um, we have an EC2 running and the security team scanned the VPC. They say, okay, this EC2, something, they said something with it, but it was actually EC2 we don't need, so I had to terminate it, right? So if you have DevOps knowledge, you can easily transition into like the security part of it. Because all you have to do is just learn whatever tools your company is using. Usually, if you are a security team that is auditing the environment, they will have some type of scanning tool they use to scan, right? Um, it could be like you will have to maybe understand Splunk if they are using Splunk. So, but the cloud part is the bigger part of the security, the DevSecOps thing. So you need to understand what are those cloud services, the same things you guys understand now. What cloud services are we using? What do we use them for? How do you configure them? You still need to understand all those basic fundamentals, knowledge. You need to have those knowledge before. And to me, I feel like the security part is like the smaller part of it. Because if I want to go and apply for a cloud security role now with my skill sets, I believe I can.
yeah, yeah. That's true. I'm actually in that role, and all that you said is 100%. So it's just using. Okay, I use Prisma, which is a
Hmm.
competitor to Splunk,
Hmm.
and it's all about configurations. It goes into your AWS account and checking every 2 hours based on how you it's set up in your organization.
Yeah.
And it's when there's any misconfiguration, according to the policies, it comes with preset policies or custom policies your company creates. So when there's any misconfiguration, which is not aligned to your policies, it brings it up.
Yeah.
You have to respond to it by, I mean, going
Yes.
into the account and correcting it. And you work hand in hand with CloudOps 100% most of the time.
Yes. Thank you. So, and it also depends on how big and small your company is. So, because sometimes security roles are divided into like different teams do different things when it comes to security. There might be a team that all they do is just audit your environment, right? And once they'll send you the finding and they'll tell you to like, okay, we see this here, we see that there. This is not secure. You need to fix it, and they'll scan it again after how many days or whatever, and they'll let you know again, right? So like GOps says, like DevSecOps is just automated security, right? So like I always said, the security part is the smaller part of it. Obviously, there will be new tools you have to learn when it comes to the security part of it, but I don't think those are as outweighs the cloud knowledge that you need to have to even be able to do the security part. You understand? You can audit an EC2 and tell someone to fix something on it if you don't even know what an EC2 is, right? And since it's like implementing security into the DevOps process, right? So that would be a good example would be you are committing a code, right? Right before the code goes into the next phase of deployment or anything, there's like a security tool that is scanning it to look for vulnerabilities in the code, right? It'll be similar to you create a Docker file, and right before you push the Docker to ECR, you push your Docker image to ECR after building it locally. Something scans it to check for vulnerability in it, and if there's any vulnerability in it, you can write the pipeline to not push it, right? So that is security. It's just you guys will figure out in your deployment process where security needs to be implemented, and you just automate that process as part of your full deployment. That's all it is, right? But if you, like, for example, you guys, you remember when we did that project where we scan our environment for any EC2 instance that has security SSH rule open to the world, then if we find any EC2 instance, we terminate that EC2 instance. That is a form of cloud security, right? But the concept of what we are trying to do is there, but you need to have that foundational knowledge of things we are doing now, which is learn how to use Terraform, understanding how to deploy stuff in the management console, pushing things to GitHub, just automating things. Because once you understand automating things, the security concept of what you are trying to do, it becomes a little bit easier to do. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say if you guys, once you complete all your projects and assignment, you understand what you are doing. And when you guys see a security rule, apply to it. You can use that, leverage those same skill sets to work in those roles. You will just adjust to whatever additional things you need to learn on those roles. You adjust to it. So I say with everything you guys are learning now, you can work as a cloud engineer, cloud security engineer, and DevOps engineer.
When you looking for a job, you just instead of
Yes.
putting all that in
Yes,
the
Geoff.
cloud.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. What you say, Dylan?
I say when you're looking for when you're looking for a job, when you're looking for a role, you just instead of putting in SIPOps, they should have it all in one big old package for what we're looking for. I'm thinking it's more of a system engineer, and I believe that does that cover everything, or that's
Yes, I
too
think
much information.
no, I don't think you guys have to put DevSecOps on your thing. I think if you apply for DevOps role, cloud engineer role, all those comes under it. This is because it's very broad, right?
Right.
So you will typically see applications in DevSecOps applications too. Because some of the keywords that will be on your resume, maybe like AWS, EC2, S3, things like that, it will be in their job description too. So mainly it's really not the title, it's just the details of your resume and the details in their job description that a site like Indeed is trying to match. You understand? So yeah, so you guys don't have to specifically put DevSecOps. Look for dev. Let's say you want to specifically look for DevSecOps role, then you can search for it too. So what I always do is you can do a search on any of this job platform, right? You can do search for cloud engineer, search for DevOps engineer, search for cloud security engineer. Then you filter it to what you want. Then just just tell them, create an alert on their site to send you an email notification anytime there's jobs that match that criteria you've put there. And they'll just keep sending you jobs that match, right? So you can do different searches and tell them to send you email when it match, right? But your resume can stay the same as cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, and stuff like that. So you don't need to specifically change it to DevSecOps engineer. Yes, exactly. I agree. Yeah, so jobs titles are not really consistent. I agree. So DevOps is a good search. Yes, I agree, Geoff. Oh, okay. Ours is
See
called
that?
softwares. Yeah, Geoff, I'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, so generally, like I just it's saying the same thing. If you search for DevOps engineer or cloud engineer, it will cover a lot of those things, right? Um, yeah, so Geoff, I agree with you that the last company I worked at, they wanted to switch us from cloud engineer. Now they wanted to call us software engineers, which with the software engineer, we have to start writing some of the software code too, but that was in an area that I was really too interested in, writing code. I mean, I love more of automating stuff, like the DevOps process, the deployment process. But like writing a code of how an application will work and function is just not something I'm interested in. So yes, I agree with you. Some companies will just want they'll call you a software engineer but with that, they also want you to know how to code stuff a little bit. So yeah. So were you saying something, Dylan?
No, I wasn't saying that. I was kind of wondering who you was talking to.
Oh, okay. No, because I'm live. Someone is typing comments.
On
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube and TikTok. But
Uh,
they can only see what I'm sharing on my screen though. So
right.
yeah.
See that I had post something in the chat. I want you to take a look at it. Maybe probably next week. You could probably give me your thoughts on it because I think
Uh
that's a good trading platform as well.
profit checking. I can look at it now. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I can look at it in details later, but now I can look at it. Um
For you to subscribe, I think you have to put I think about like 200 for like
just
I
got
think like
it.
50K account, and I think this is I think
So it's like
this is pretty good.
so let me ask you guys something. Like, so how do you guys usually approach learning when it comes to learning? Like how do you guys approach it? Do you guys feel like someone can teach you better than you can teach yourself? Or so how are you guys approaching it? Like, and I'm only asking that to say that I I'm telling you guys that in order for you guys to get started, right? And just learn the basics of trading options, you don't need to pay anyone for any class. No one is going to be able to tell you that unless if they work at the White House and they know what President Trump is about to do next, right? No one is going to tell you how the stock market is going to be tomorrow. So I feel like sometimes when we are searching for like information, that's how we fall into like some of these traps. I won't call it trap because any service can be good and any service can be bad, but uh, and you guys pretty much you guys know me, and you know when I try something, I tell you guys the truth, right? You guys don't even have to pay me for it. Just like I told you, when I learned AWS, how I learned it is how I'm teaching you guys. I'm telling you guys the same thing with options now. Like when it comes to trading, you really don't need to pay anyone. It's just going to be you. You just have to sit down, go through the information, right? And understand it. Like there's no one that's going to be out there that's going to consistently tell you to buy this, sell that, buy at this time, sell at this time, and you'll make money. No one. Because the stock market is so unpredictable. But there's data you can use every day to that minimize your risks on how you see where the price is going for the day. So I don't know. I mean, like since you are just starting out, I don't know. I don't know. I can look into this for you, but right off the bat, I'm just gonna say no. Right? I don't think you need all this, especially starting out. I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, Honestly, when I started learning, I told you guys I just used ChatGPT. Even when I wrote this code, ChatGPT wrote it for me. And I've showed you guys week after week is the code is very accurate. It is always spot on. Because for me, when I'm trading every day, right, all I do is look at the lines. So once my code plots the line for me, I look at the lines. Then the lines tells me when, for example, if I see early on in the day, there's a couple of things I look at, right? If I see early on in the day that the price is dropping, but the market is generally green, and how I can tell the market is green is I look at the S&P and the NASDAQ index, right? So that's why I have these two up here. If this is green, it means that the market is green. The market is there's the sentiment in the market is bullish for the day, right? So if you see any particular stock dropping, once this line gets plotted, most of the time, and I can show you guys over and over again, most of the time when they come down here, if it's not a full red day, most of the time, if the sentiment is green and the stock price is dropping, if it drops to this red or orange line, it always goes back up in the day and it will come back down, it will go back up. Or sometimes like what Tesla did yesterday, it started off going up and it just stayed up all day. It dropped, it pulled back a little bit, but it stayed up. So let me show you another one. And I can show you as many stocks as you guys will see, and you will see what I'm saying, right? Look at it. This is Amazon. The market opened here, right? You see, it touches the yellow line, and what did it do? It go back up, right? Because generally yesterday the market sentiment was barely green, like it wasn't bearish, it wasn't bullish, it was just hanging there, right? Let me show you another one. Right. So you see here so yesterday, that's what I'm saying, like since the market now with everything going on is not really like a good way to say, but what I know for sure is like once it crossed this line, this red line, it can be a good buying opportunity because at some point it will go back up, right? So if I was trading, but NVIDIA is always because obviously there's a restriction with US preventing NVIDIA from selling to China. That's what's affecting it. But another one, right here. You can see once they cross this line, the yellow line and the red line, right? You can see it crossed this red line, went back up, came back there again, went back up, dropped again, went back up, right? That for me, that is always what I look at, right? So usually when it's on the yellow line, I'll buy one contract. When it's here, I'll buy one. And if it keeps dropping and to this one, I'll average down and buy some here. And if it goes down here, I'll just leave it and I'll wait for it to come back up. they always do. You can see this one. It came to this red line and it went back up. But like I said, yesterday wasn't really like a really good day. Right. Look at another one. See, it came to the red line, went back up. Now stayed in that range. Right. Let me show you another one. This one's not really a good one because no one was trading that one yesterday. So is this one. So is this one. Right. Let me show you another one. I can show you countless of examples of these things happening. Right. So I'm saying that to say, for me, I just look at my trading strategy is was the my trading strategy is just the lines. So I wait for the market to start. Once the market starts and the line gets plotted for me, then if the stock is moving, if the stock is on the any of this between this red and yellow line, because sometimes they will touch the first line and it will go back up after that. So that's why I'll enter my position here. And if it goes down some more here, and I'll enter another position. So I'll average down. At some point, it always goes back up, always. Unless it is just a full red day, then it will go down. It will keep going down.
Fizz, can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
You asked a question. So I just came in
Mm-hmm.
because I was busy with some stuff. So you asked a question, and it's something I'm pondering about. You said, how do you learn? And so I'm currently studying for the AZ 500. And so the method that I've been using, you tell me, do you think this makes sense, or how you would do it if you would do it different? And I'll relate this back to what you're saying about the stocks too, right? So how do you learn, right? So I'm preparing for this exam, and my approach has been, I've bought a lot of courses on Udemy and different places and YouTube. I'm watching free ones. And so I watch the videos, and as I'm watching the videos, I take notes, written notes, but I'm also typing my notes into like basically like notebook or something like that. It's called Standard Note what I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
And so, after that, I'll take my notes in my notebooks or standard notes, and I'll throw them in AI, and I'll have AI summarize it, like ChatGPT summarize, what this topic was all about, and then ask me questions about it. And then I'll go through the questions, answer the questions, and then I'll take that and I'll say, hey, I need to do a project on this. So then I'll do a project on it, build something, and then I'll come back and I'll look at my notes and I'll write down things that I miss. Do you think what would you add or subtract, or how would you go about doing? And I'm also thinking about productivity too. So I started using it's like an app called Clockify, which I'll time myself daily, make sure I'm spending like at least 2 hours studying. And it like basically creates charts and stuff like that to show me how much I'm studying per day. So how do you stay productive? And two, another question would be, what would you do differently, or what would you subtract out of what I'm doing so far?
No, I think what you're doing is good and is perfect. So if that method works for you, and you and I have worked together for a while, so I understand how you learned when it comes to some of these things where um you also execute. So the main purpose of my question is I was trying to get to is that I just don't want you guys to get in the form of getting that phase of always consuming information and not executing. You understand? Like I don't want you to keep buying course and buying course and buying course and not actually get to the part where you get your hands dirty and start actually learning and making mistakes and learning from it. Because I always feel like that is the best form of learning. So honestly, what you are doing, I wouldn't change anything. You're taking notes. Um, so with that, once you, if the courses you are taking is just mainly concept practical, then the next step is to executing after that. So the main point of me asking that question is, I don't want you guys to think, I was trying to say that a lot of the work you can do it for yourself. You don't, for example, I was just really even relating that to, it's both AWS and stock, right? In the stock market, right? No one can tell you buy this, sell that. Sometimes I buy stuff, I lose money on it. And sometimes I buy stuff, I make money on it, right? No one can really tell you, but there is like tools you can use to minimize um, the risk. So that's why I said, um, after you watch a couple of YouTube videos, just start. Just start.
So, and you bring up something good. All right. So when you say just start, right? So how you're designing projects all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting there and you're trying to figure out a project idea that your students could use that could make them better as far as acquiring a job or just get more skill.
Mm-hmm.
How do you come up with the concept or what is like how do you come up with the execution plan? How do you lay out, okay, like I'm thinking about building a zero trust project.
Mm-hmm.
How do you figure out what you need, how to go about executing the best method to execute? How do you do that? Like, because that's
So,
more engineering and
mm-hmm.
architecture right there at that point.
Yeah, right. So you see over here when I have Azure course outline, right? Um, well, I think I have Azure AWS, right? So the AWS one, I started working on the dynamic one, which is, I probably didn't rename it because I just copied one of these over. I need to rename it. Let me see which one it is. Well, it is one of this. I probably just haven't renamed it yet, right? So what I do, the first thing is I just create my outline of the different things that I have to do, like creating a VPC. So I first break it down into sections, right? Like to work on my application, we need a VPC. Then I need storage, right? Then I need to launch my EC2. Then I need to install stuff on my EC2, right? So that's what once I have the different sections, then I now write down, it's just a rough draft of the different videos I need to create in that section. Then the list gets updated as you go. Like this is a final list. And what I do now is once I have the rough draft of my list, I just give that list to ChatGPT and I was like, this is a outline for my course. Can you pretty much optimize it for me? It won't change anything. It will just properly title it for you, right? And in this case, I even asked it to give me, like, write a description for the full course, right? And for each section. And it did it. And this is based on the rough draft of my thing. So that's my planning process. That's the first thing. Once I have the list, I just start recording, start working on each video one at a time until I'm done. So I always create notes too. I always have notes. You can see here, I have notes just like you. Where this is me learning Azure, like I have notes, certain things that stands out that ChatGPT, when I'm mainly using ChatGPT to learn many of these things, I just put them in my notes. So this note is just mumbo jumbo. I just, whatever the concept is that I need to remember, I'll throw it in here. And at the end, once I'm done, I can ask it to organize it for me. So I think, yes, you're doing the right thing. But for me, main thing is just creating the outline. Then once I have the outline, I just execute. So which brings me back to what I was saying is just my main point of asking that is just, I want you guys to understand that executing is the big part of it. I also want you guys to consume information all the time and consume information and not executing. No, you have to, the job, like whether it's AWS or trading, whichever one you want to do, you have to execute and you have to be willing to do the work. Don't be afraid. Believe in yourself. Understand that you are smart enough to pick up any information and learn, honestly.
Az-
It,
Aziz, I kind of have something to add to that.
go ahead.
And it kind of yeah, not to undermine what you said too as well, but when you asked that question originally, I thought about it too, because sometimes like with the trading, it looks exciting. I'm trying to learn, but sometimes if you don't know what you don't know, if you get what I'm getting at, like you might
Mhm.
not even know how to start, like, or I mean, you could start, but like you said, there's a tons of information out there. So sometimes it helps better, like with one of the options you get when somebody already knows what they're doing in a sense can kind of maybe pinpoint you to, hey, here are things you should look at. These are, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand. So,
Yeah.
so I agree, right? So, which is why I said, so when you guys ask me about trading options, right? How do I trade options? I didn't say, I didn't say I have a course you can sign up for that I'll tell you what to buy and what to sell, right? What I told you guys is I'll show you the tools that I'm using. Like I'm showing you TradingView, that's one of the tools I use. I'm showing you Yahoo Finance, that's one of the tools I use, right? I'm showing you ChatGPT, that's one of the tools I use, right? So you can even see here, yesterday I was asking, why is Google down today, right? And they thought I was talking about Google as a company. I said, no, I'm not. I'm in the Google stock. And started giving me the reasons, right? I'm showing you guys the tools that I use, right? So what I was trying to get into is that I feel like sometimes it's something that I had to work myself out of, and I don't want you guys to fall in the same trap. But if you feel like that's the best way for you to go, by all means do it. Is feeling like I don't want you guys to feel like it's something that's too difficult for you to learn and you need to pay someone to do all the research work for you and just tell you what to buy. That's what I don't want you to do. You understand? Because when you want someone to do all the work and you just come every day, just tell me what to buy today and I'll buy it. That's when you get to the thing where they are charging you money just to give you that information. And I can guarantee you, if someone tell you something to buy, if someone tell you buy Tesla today, let's say my friend signed up for a guy that does that, right? The guy charged $500 a week. So for the week, I think it's a week. You pay your $500 upfront. On Sunday, he's gonna send you a list of companies you can buy it at this price, sell it at this price. Or it says send you that information on Sunday. And that is your payment for the week. The next week, if you need that information, you have to pay another 500. But I'm telling you that if someone tell you buy Tesla today and sell it, buy it at this thing and sell it, there's no guarantee it's going to go to that price. A news can come out tomorrow where stuff can go down. So what I'm saying is I don't want you guys to avoid the learning part. I'm sorry, my son is over here banging on the door and he wants me to open the door. Just a second. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Baby, where are you now? I'm doing so. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My son is at the age where he'll hear me in my office and he will crawl to the door and start banging on the door and ask me to open the door. So, so what I was saying is I don't want you guys to um skip the learning part and looking for someone that will just give you the answer. Especially when it comes to trading. I think it's something everyone is smart enough to learn, honestly. And I told you guys how I started learning is I asked ChatGPT, how do I make options trading? It told me, and the next day I just did my first trade.
Yeah, I think the way that I'm talking about cloud at this point, like sometimes when you look at somebody architecture, right, and they diagrams, you kind of see, all right, they putting these servers here, they putting the firewall here, they're putting this here, and you can kind of say, all right, that's how they designed it. So I'm gonna go back and do mine this way, right? And that kind of give me a visualization of how to do things. I think with stocks and stuff like that, I started off with like ETFs and stuff like that, and that was kind of more of a diverse, safe way, and then expand out from that place where you start to feel more comfortable, and then you can do research and stuff like that. So having a template sometimes, to me, it helps you because you could get a more of you get a proven method, and then you can go from there. So that's just
I agree. So the equivalent part in cloud is right. So equivalent part. So specifically, like what I was trying to say is just that in cloud, for example, the equivalent to that would be when someone approached me and someone say, I want to learn cloud, but I want to be on Zoom call with you. You have to show me exactly what I need to do, right? Then I say, okay, the information is done and is recorded and it's something you can easily follow. You go through the information, then you have your own specific questions based on your experience going through the information. Then that's when I come in to help you. You understand? So that's the type of mentality that I am expecting, which is you are always willing to do the work, which is exactly what you are saying, Sean. Like you're always willing to do the work, but I'm not saying yes, someone can show you the thing, but I'm saying that don't try to skip the doing of the work, offload that part to somebody else, and you just want someone to just tell you the answer.
yeah, I
You
agree.
understand? That's in cloud, that would be equivalent to you for information that you can go through on your own. You want someone to tell you on Zoom. You want someone to sit on Zoom with you and tell you click here, click there. That doesn't help you learn. And in stock, it will be equivalent to you wanting someone to tell you what to buy, what price to buy it, and when to sell it. Then at that point, you're not really learning anything either.
Yeah, I learned that a lot from you. Giving you kudos for that is that I value the way that you set things up, and then like you take your notes and like how it's thorough. And so I'm trying to I've been following you for a while when it comes to like laying things out. I'm just trying to figure out how to architecture, how to design these things. And I'm coming along the way now, building stuff. But I've been under your mentorship. It really has helped me figure
Yeah,
out how
thank
to
you.
lay out my own projects. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, no problem. So even with your projects you're doing, start with just the full concept of your outline. What sections do you need? And once you create the sections, then you'll be able to create the individuals videos under that section. And don't worry about knowing all the videos up front. You might start start doing one thing, right? And once you do that thing, then you say, okay, you know what? I created this. I need to create this. I think this will go in this section. Then you put the title there. So it's a list that keeps updating as you go. And at the end, once you are done, is when you have the full list, right? Then the architecture is even something you will create. I create my architecture after doing everything, because now, like for example, I created the Azure architecture. I didn't create it. Do I even have it? I think I have it on my Mac computer. I don't think I have it on this computer. Well, I created the reference architecture for Azure, and it is something I was able to visualize after I've completed the project, not before I started the project. Because when I created the VNet, the virtual machine, set up the network security groups and all that stuff, I was able to, at that time, I understood where they go in, where each of those resources go in the architecture. So it helped me in placing them in the right place on the reference diagram. You understand? So
Yeah.
sometimes that reference architecture would probably even be the last thing you create. Because if you create a VPC and you create EC2 and all these things, you are able to visualize it then. And that picture you have in your head is what you turn into the diagram.
Nice. Nice.
You understand? So sometimes it's reverse engineering, it's like you're working backwards. But that has always worked for me. So that's what I'm saying. What has always worked for me is getting my hands dirty. Anything I want to learn, I found the best way to learn it is just to dive into it. You know. So I'm not saying, by all means, I'm not trying to discourage you guys from sign up for any course or any type of information that you feel will help you. But I'm saying, like, in the course of you guys doing that, the main thing you should always seek is you gaining some type of knowledge. You understand? You need to gain some type of knowledge from it, which is why I told you guys, once the market is normal and we can trade normally, you guys, I'll start a meeting where you guys can see how I'm trading, right? But which is why you guys ask me what do I buy? If you ask me what am I invested in, I'll tell you what I'm invested in. But today I can tell you what to buy that's gonna make you money this week. I don't know. Until market opens tomorrow, then I'll look at my data, then I use that to make information. So that's why I have all this here lined up. You know what I do? I just go up and down like this through them as the market is going. And if I see a potential one that is at where I feel like is a good time to buy, then I buy. I'm also telling you guys, I'm just like you guys. I'm just like you guys. Everyone is intelligent in their own way. I didn't know anything about stock until I started trading, and my friend and I were discussing it yesterday. And I was like, what was I doing this whole time when I could have been doing stock? But the thing is, like, none of us had someone that was doing it to tell us, okay, this is what you need to be doing, right? So that person that is there to tell you what you need to be doing might be me to you guys, that I'm telling you guys right now. You need to look into trading stocks, right? The thing there is the learning part, but you need to trade in stock. And I'm 100% honest with you guys, right? Since I've been trading, I started trading last June. I've made more money than, I've lost money, but I'll tell you guys how I've lost money. But for me, it's not even losing the money, it's the potential. I've made more. Most of the time when I pick stuff, it's always been right. I've been right many times than I've been wrong. It's not even close. For example, if I only put 500 in something, I can only lose the 500, but I can put 500 in something and walk away with 5,000. That is the beauty about it. I've had many days, I have screenshots of it. That's what my friend, we were talking to my other friend in Nigeria yesterday. And my friend was telling him, like, he's the one that got me started, because not many people will tell you this, but I know he's my friend and he shows me the proof. I have countless of screenshots of $20,000 days, 30,000, 4,000, 5,000. The most I made 100,000 in 1 week. Um, and I did all this thing by not taking anyone's class. And I'll tell you guys how I lost money in thing is due to greed, honestly. And that's why I feel like I'm at a better place now to trade, because now I understand exactly what I'm doing. I'm able to put my emotions aside and just trade based on what I see and not what I'm anticipating, right? Like in January, I had maybe 4 or 5 things that I was doing very well. One 20,000, another one 30. And I was telling my friend, I remember I was telling my friend, look, I'm making this much. There was another one that I bought 2 days later, I was making 20,000. And you know where it always gets me? I don't sell, because I'm I'm ignoring the money I'm seeing now in hopes that I'm gonna make more later on if I leave it there. Which is why I said the stock market is not predictable. You can lose your money. So now I'm at a place where anytime I'm making any type of money, I take my profit. I just sell it, which was the case this week. For example, this week, I made 15,000 this week. Palantir and Tesla, both of them. And my friend and I were trading it together. We both made money on it, because I told him, I was looking at Palantir. I was like, this thing looks like it's going to do well because it went down on Wednesday. I was like, it's going to do it. So I just kept buying it. As it was going down, I kept buying it. And on Thursday, it did very, very well. So it did so well. My friend and I, we were up 400%. So I told my friend, I was like, look, whatever happens today, sell your stock, sell whatever you open, whatever you have open. And he was arguing with me I mean, we ended with debate back and forth. He was like, no, my contract is still till next week. I'll leave it. And I was like, look, the next week is just to protect you with time, but you are already up 400%, sell it. So he said he wasn't going to sell it, but later on the day he called me, said, I sold it. I took your advice, I sold it. And the next day the market went down. So he would have been losing his profit. Had it been I left my money in it, I would have been losing my profit too. So when I've lost money in the stock market, is due to greed. It's always due to me wanting to make more. And you can only lose what you put in, but you can make more than you put in. Does that make sense? If you put $500 in, you can only lose 500, but you can put $500 in and make, if you are in the right trade, you can make anywhere, any amount, honestly. It's really not about putting millions in it. Small amount can make you a lot of money. Granted, you spot the right trade at the right time and you are in it, you can make money. You understand? So
Hey,
all the success I've had, I learned it on my own. And I always tell you guys, I'm no smarter than you guys. So you don't need to pay anyone, honestly. Go
uh,
ahead. Sorry.
Aziz, I have a ask. Just like I really like what you're saying that for like not paying anybody to give you information or like because I know a bunch of guys too that do that, in which they're like, hey, if you join my group, sign up for this course, I'll give you trades. But like you said, that's not teaching like a fisherman how to fish. Like
Exactly.
me personally, I'd rather know how to do it that because with knowing how to do it, I feel more empowered than having to depend on somebody or whatnot. So one thing I will say is like, and this is an ask, if you could do it anytime you're free, if you could provide like, let's say a list of the things you know, or you think that might be beneficial or things, how we could like for me, this is brand new to me. Like
Mhm.
how, like maybe a list of things I should take note of and I could like just go study on my own.
Mhm.
Things like if you could do that, I'll truly appreciate that.
Sure. Sure.
If yeah,
I can make a list of things that you guys just need to get started, right? So
yeah.
I'll say one of the things you guys need is a tool to visualize the chart, the stock chart, right? The price, right? And the best one I've found that I use is TradingView because TradingView also has the ability for me to ChatGPT can write a code for me that I can put in TradingView that prints this line for me. So this line you guys are saying, that's what the code ChatGPT wrote for me based on scenarios that if when those scenarios are true in the stock market, it means that the price is going up, right? So for me, what these lines mean is the support. So there's the lowest two lines will be the support level, right? And the highest two line will be the resistance, right? So what that means is like when when any stock is at this price, it means that more people are probably going to start buying it because at that point they think it's cheap. It's like it's on discount. They'll buy it, and when more people start buying it, it push the price back up, right? And the same way is like when the stock gets to a certain point, is kind of like it has to go and form another support resistance. For you guys can see here, this is true here, right? When it crossed this last green line, you saw it kept going up, then all of a sudden it dropped down because there is nothing else. At this point, it's just free flowing. And at some point, it would form another support. Like when the market opens tomorrow, this line it will not be here. It will form whatever based on how the price is moving. New lines will get formed and you'll be able to see it every day. And that's what I trade based off. Right. So, and this is true with every stock every day. I told you guys, right? When they go either they are always in that range. They are always in that. And this line gets printed sometime in the morning, right? You can say this line gets printed in the morning, but you can see how the stock moved for the day. So mainly what I'm trying to say is like the stock price will be in this range of this line. So now it makes it simple for you that you are looking in the range of this line and you are looking for a good entry point to enter when the stock price is in that range. That's why I said, right? What I did this week when I made money on Tesla this week, when Tesla was on the red line, I bought one contract. Then Tesla kept dropping and it dropped to the last line and even dropped past it. Then I bought two more. Then it dropped past that line, then it came back up. This was this one here. So this was Friday. It was right here, Wednesday. I don't know how I can zoom in, how you guys can see it. I'm trying to zoom in over here. So it was right here, right? So that's what I was saying, right? The red line was removed because the day has passed, right? So the red line is on the current day. So when Tesla was here, right? On this thing, I bought it here. Then it came down, and the red line was probably here at that time. So when it came down here, I bought more. And you can see that for the rest of the day, it never really like went back up to the purple line, because the purple line means that's where you make money. So the rest of the day, it kept going back to where I bought it, because I bought it on this yellow line. So it just kept going back there. For me, my contract expires on Friday. If I bought something and it's dropping and going back to where I bought it, and I'm only losing like $100 or $50, I'm not freaking out. I'm like, okay, I'm in good standing. So I left it. I left it for that day because I was like, I'm in good standing. I like how it is moving today. Then the next day, right, you can see the market opened. It was at the purple line and it just went up to like right here. And I sold it somewhere around here and I made like, well, maybe like 3,000 on it. And the same thing with Palantir. This is probably the same thing with Palantir. Let me see. I'll show you the chart, how I made money on it.
Hello,
Yeah,
Aziz. Can I interrupt you?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting. I'm just curious. These lines, did you draw them or just? I don't know if you have explained it before, but
Oh,
mm,
the lines, the code ChatGPT made for me draws the line for me based on
but you took
how based on how the price is moving for the day.
okay.
Right. Yeah. The code draws the line from based on, so the lines mean something, right? And based on how the price is moving, the code would draw the line for me. Right. Right.
Okay,
You
quick
took you
question.
took ChatGPT. You took ChatGPT to draw it for you, right? That's the
Yes.
code.
So it's based on a scenario that happens in the stock market. For example, right? How do I
Based
put
on
it?
you just told okay, the resistance and the support for the issue, right?
Exactly. So yeah, what the resistance, the support level for a stock and the resistance, right, for the day, right?
Okay.
So in the morning, you can really tell. In the morning, that's when you tell pre-market, right before the
Okay.
stock market opens, and the first 15 minutes. That's when the trading activity is really, really high for the day, most of the
And
time.
and it's kind of interesting because I'm seeing more than one support, more than one resistance. So even the ChatGPT is the one doing that for you, right?
Yeah, it's my code that draws all. So at the end, every day I will have 4 lines. Every day.
Okay, four
These
lines
past ones,
every day.
these are past days. So for example, you can see this is, if you look down here where my
Yeah.
mouse is, you can see this is Wednesday, May
Okay, I
May,
see that.
May
The
7th.
7th.
This is Thursday and this is Friday. So this is the Wednesday when I talked about Palantir, right? So Palantir
Yes.
came down, and at that
Yes.
time the red line was probably here. So once it was on the red line, I bought it, right? And it kept dropping. Well, it never quite got to the yellow line, but it stayed here and it went back up. So So by the time I got here, I bought a lot.
The yellow line is your last support for the day.
Yes, it's like the last price that the last support level that if it goes to this yellow line, it's gonna go up at some point. But sometimes if it's a red day, it will keep going down. If it's just but there's rarely a time where the market is just going down, 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 down all day. They usually go down, up, down, up. They will go to their support. They'll go to their support, back to resistance, back to support. But they might keep trending down, but it's never a straight line down. You understand? So once
And they
it
used to do like,
go ahead.
sorry, you used to do like the trading options, or you just buy the contract 3 weeks or 4 weeks out.
Before President Trump, I used to buy 3 weeks ahead and leave it. But since Trump thing, I day trade it. So if I buy something, I'll sell it.
Trade it.
Yeah.
So you don't wait for like maybe a month, or you don't just
No.
buy the contract. So matter,
No.
you just sell it that day. Same
Exactly.
day.
Not depends on if I'm making money on it.
Okay.
You're
not making money, you just leave it.
Well, if I'm not making money, yes, I'll leave it. I'll leave it to the next day. That was the case with Tesla that I just showed you, right? And it was the
Yes,
same way with it was the same thing with Palantir too. So on this day, I bought it here and I wasn't making money for the day, so I left it to the next day, right? But I liked how it was, and knowing the history of Palantir and knowing how they are, I like how it was moving, right? So when everything was dropping here, so the red line was probably here. So I bought it here, and when it came down to like right here, I took advantage of it. And I also noticed that the contract was getting cheap, was very cheap, even though the price is not too far from my strike price. So I bought a lot of it. So the next day, the market opened, and when it got to right here, exactly right here, I sold it. And I made like 13,000 on Palantir.
Wow.
So I had like 35 contracts. So I sold. So now this is the new me that I understand. Take your profit when you see it. I'm not anticipating some imaginary money, right?
Okay.
So what I did is out of my 35 contract, I sold. First, I sold 30. I left 5. Then I saw that the 5, I was still having a lot of money in it. Then I sold 3 and I left 2. I still have the 2 now. I still have the 2 contracts now. So I left 2 to the next day just in case. And even that 2 that I left, I was still up 400% on it. 400%. So I left 2, and you guys can see yesterday, this is Friday, yesterday, you can see that it dropped. That is why stock market is not predictable. So if you are leaving something, what I've learned is, so for my 2-year contract, I have some contracts that are 2 years that I'm leaving. I'm not selling those.
Oh yeah, that's my last question, Aziz. I'm sorry. So since you're not day trading options, so how many contracts did you buy? Like how many weeks and more?
How many do I buy and sell?
Yes, like now the option, you have to like specify the contracts right time. So now that you're day trading, how many you buy a month? Do you buy 2 months? Just to leave some time.
Oh, so when because I'm day trading it, it's much riskier, but I'm buying the expiration days for Friday.
Okay.
So if I'm buying it to expire Friday, so if I bought it Wednesday, it will still be Friday because you know why? It's cheaper.
So like a week is like a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, if it's like a week, it's cheaper, especially if you're buying it on Wednesday, it's cheaper, right? So
yes.
So since I'm day trading it, I know I'm not going to keep it that long. I'm not buying 2 weeks out. I'm just buying the cheapest one, which is the same week, right? So so I'll buy it, and once I'm making money, I'll sell it. But then if I'm not making money, then I'll just sell it and take my loss, right? If I'm losing money, then I'll at some point I'll go, okay, you know what? It's time to exit out of this, right? But generally speaking, right? If let's say you buy something for 2-3 months and you're waiting, what I'm saying is that, and I've seen this over and over when I was in January when I was making money and I lost money, it was because in that 2 months, they can go here, come back here, go here, come back here. They can go here, down, go back here, down, go back here in that 2 months. It's not always like a straight line up. So you could have been making money in between. So that is why the best philosophy is if you bought a 2-month contract, and you go and look at that contract today, and that contract is already up 100%. Take some of that profit out, sell it. Then, if there's another opportunity where it comes back down, you can buy it again if you feel like you need more contract. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. So that's what I did here. I bought Palantir here when it was here. Then I just left it to the next day. It came up here and I sold it, and that's how I made the 13,000 on it.
Wow. Quick question as is for here. Does that mean that your code that helps you to determine the support level, etc., integrates into this tool that you're presenting at the moment to be able to draw the lines the way they are?
Yes, it does. Right. So if I click here, right, this is my code that ChatGPT wrote for me, right? So this trading view has the thing where if I go down here, I'm sorry, my thing is in the way. If I go down here, and you can come to Pine Editor, right? This is the code here, right? This is the code. So it has a tool where, and it takes this Pine. I don't know what type of language it is, right? This is the tool, right? So I don't know how to code this, right? But I know a scenario that will happen in the stock market, right? So I just tell it, based on this scenario, write a code for me that alerts me on the thing, and it just pretty much wrote the code for me. So that's like an idea that I'm giving you guys. Like,
Okay.
it's just because I'm live streaming. If you guys ask me personally, I'll tell you the specifics of what makes this code.
Yeah,
I don't want to, since I'm live streaming, I don't want to say it here, right? But
that's fine. Yeah, that would be great. I
That's
for me,
that's
it
why they
differs
want to
from
ask
region
you.
to region because now I'm not in the US, so maybe my circumstances will be different. But it would be great to go a little bit into details about this.
Can I reach out to you on that?
Yeah, sure.
And I will reach out to you on that also as is.
All right, sure. Maybe I'll probably just do a meeting where I'm not live streaming, and I'll just share with you guys, right?
Okay, that
So
would be great.
Yeah, that would be great. If you could maybe
Right.
let us know ahead of time too.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. So every day you guys can see what I was saying, that every day the line gets printed, right? You can see this is Wednesday's line, this is Thursday's line, and this is Friday's line. They automatically, and if I keep going back, this is Tuesday, this is Monday. And this is even a overall of how the price was moving throughout the week. So it's never a straight line, especially where we are now with the trade war going on, right? It's never a straight line. So, but how you can make money is when it was here, you sell here, right? Well, I really don't buy puts because I don't know when the stock is going to come down. So I just wait for the stock to drop. Like when I say that the stock is down, right? You see, you guys can see my yellow lines, right? Just look at it every day.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that almost the stock, there's never anywhere here where you see any of this candle dropping past that yellow line.
Yes.
Like just free falling.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this yellow line gets mapped before the market opens.
Wow.
So once you know that's the range you are working in, at that point in the day, it's just about me finding a good entry point. So you look at every single day. There's never a time. Sometimes they will drop past it a little bit, but they will still come back to that yellow line during the same day, right? Like for example, this one, that day it dropped past it a little bit, right? But then if you would have left it, so if I say I bought it here and I'm buying it till Friday, this was Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday did the same thing. By Thursday, it was already up here, right? So there's never a point where so that yellow line is a good place to measure. Like, okay, where the price is gonna go. So it's the purple line. Sometimes the purple line they'll blow past it, they will just keep going. But obviously that's what you want because that's when you make more money. So you see here with the purple line here, just blew past it and it just kept going up. That's how you make more money. That's what you want. But the lines give me where to trade. So it's different from before when I used to trade the market, right? And I don't have anything printed and I'm just like, oh, it's going down now, let me buy it now. Or it's going up now, let me buy it, right? So the lines does help me a lot, a whole lot. I get so excited about every Sunday night when the market is about to open on Monday and every night during the week because I have the information to trade on the next day.
I'll be excited too if I was making thousands.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
that's what I'm
I think
saying. Like, you guys can do it. So another thing I want to say is like, well, US and China are having their meeting right
Mm.
this weekend, right? Because the whole reason why the market has been down since February is because of when President Trump announced the tariff on China and China retaliated, and they just kept going back and forth, right? Even this week, after President Trump announced the deal with UK, it helped the market a little bit, but the market still didn't move. I mean, it moved a little bit, like just a little, not even anything that is considered move, right? Because everybody is waiting for the China one. That's the one that's really going to move the market. So part of the things you guys are asking me is the strategy that I use is you pay attention to what's going on in the news. Before I used to touch, before I used to trade, I used to hear this a lot, and I was like, "What is these people talking about?" It's true. You have to pay attention to the news. So they are having the meeting this weekend, right? On trying to de-escalate some of the tension between US and China. My prayer, which I'm going to be fasting and pray today and tomorrow, is that they are able to come up with a deal. So you can imagine if something gets announced tomorrow that, oh, the meeting was successful, Monday the market is going to go up. The market moves on news. So what I did yesterday, I bought some stocks already with money that I can afford to lose. Like I just 500, I put 500 in this, 500 in that, right? Because in the hopes that, because their meeting is today, you can see their meeting is to de-escalate. They already began the meeting already, right? The meeting already started. It's going on right now. So let's hope between today and tomorrow there's good news, and Monday we get good news. And President Trump even said, this is the time to go buy stock. The last time he said that, some guy turned 10,000 to 17 million. So
What?
yeah, yeah. That
70
was
million.
someone turned
I'm
10,000 to 7.
I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah. So
No.
there's a lot of money. You can make a lot of money in the
Jesus
stock market, and you
Christ.
don't even have, so let's say someone turned 10,000 to 17 million, you could have turned 1,000 to 1.7 million.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Wow. I
Right.
mean, I feel that even for them to meet is positive at least. For them to
Exactly.
even meet.
Exactly. So everybody is anticipating like good news coming out of it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So and I'm telling you guys, when there's a positive movement between US and China, the market is gonna go up. You guys mark my word, the market is gonna go up. It's gonna do very well.
Which means this is the time
That's
to
the
buy.
yes, around this time, but it's just about so because nobody knows what's gonna come except for people working in the White House, right? Nobody really knows, right? So for my strategy is being in the market every single day.
Mm.
All right. So I'll find something very cheap to buy that I can put $500 in, because even if I lose $500, I'm fine with that. My goal is to be in the market every single day for like the next for the rest of the year, every single day. So yesterday, right before market closed, I bought I bought Amazon, I bought Apple, because Amazon and Apple have been affected by um the trade war, because obviously a lot of sellers on Amazon gets their product from China, and Apple makes most of their iPhones in China, so they've been affected a lot. And I bought the index tools, the SPY and QQQ. I bought that, and if nothing happens, some of those contracts I have it till Friday, and the SPY and the QQQ, those ones expires on Monday though, so but it's money I'm willing to lose. But the goal is to be in the market every day, because this is the main thing you guys need to pay attention to right now. And it's going on now. So like Mr. Henry said, them meeting is even a positive, that is a positive sign. So yeah, so this is how I trade. Trust me, I was keep telling you guys, everything I always do is based on effort. It's not because I'm smarter. I can even show you guys where I was. You can see every day I'm always asking, what's the latest update on US and China's trade talk? ChatGPT, now ChatGPT can go and do search in the internet for you guys. So you don't even, ChatGPT will find the latest article with credible sources, and it will tell you give you a good summary of what's going on. Yesterday, right? This is when I was asking, uh, ChatGPT about, you can see, about US China talk for Monday. What can I buy today that could potentially benefit from a positive outcome of their meeting, right? It told me this, and even at Tesla, but obviously I can't buy all of it. So I just bought the ones that I already know about. So I'm always like actively doing research, actively asking. As I'm doing cloud, it's the same way I'm doing stock. Is always based on some type of effort, which is why I was asking that question, that you guys can't offload that responsibility to someone else. Because you might you might be smarter than the person you are offloading the responsibility to, because the way you think is very unique. And you might start doing your research, all of a sudden you get a light bulb in your inside. Okay, I think this is what's going to happen. And you execute on that. So that's why I was cautioning you guys to offloading the responsibility to someone else. So, I mean, that's just everything in a nutshell. So I'll tell you guys now, for your watch list, use Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is good. It gave you a lot of good articles on the latest news. So once you come on your Yahoo Finance, you come to news, you see here all the news, right? And you can even go on latest news, and you will see what's going on, right? Or if you go to their home, they always have like some of the big new items on their home too, right? That's for that. For chart reading, I use Trading View. It's both of them, they have a free account you can start with. But like this interval that I'm using here is a paid one. But I like this 1000 ticks. I like it better than time interval, because this candle, every single candle you guys see here, if I was doing 15 minutes, right? That's what I used to do before. It means that for one candle represents every 15 minutes. But the 1000 ticks I'm doing is much efficient. And I see why they don't make it free. Because that 1000 tick is based on the trades. It's not based on the time. It's based on, so 1000 ticks means like for every 1000 trades that gets made, like every 1000 transaction, the line forms for every 1000 transaction, which is better. So sometimes you can have more lines, sometimes you can. That's why you guys see, let's look at Tesla, right? That you see Tesla, right? Which is why this is also helpful. You see Tesla, look at how many lines Tesla has for the day, how many candles Tesla has. Now let's look at this stock. Look at it. Don't look at this part because this was Thursday, right? But the Friday is over here. It only had 2. So what does that tell you? You can easily see, like let's say you want to buy a stock, this tick symbol helped me see that people are not really even actively trading it like that. It has 16 million, volume, right? But the transaction means that less people are buying it. Maybe one person probably bought 2 million of the volume. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? It's different from Tesla, where every line, every candle you see is every 1,000 transactions. So it means a lot of people was trading it. There was a lot of transaction going on with Tesla. So sometimes it helps. Yeah, so those are all the things that I use. But once
where do you buy the contract? Is it through TradingView also or another platform?
Oh no, so I use Robinhood. That's
okay.
where Robinhood. So TradingView has the ability to connect to your trading platform to trade for you, right? So if you see this trading panel here, these are all the different trading platform TradingView can connect to. But Robinhood is not part of it. The ones that I've heard that is good, my friend that was day trading for a very long time that told me that I used to talk about it, use interactive brokers. I've heard Webull is very good too. You guys have to watch out for some of this. Some of this might be just crypto related, but interactive broker, Webull, Momo. Momo is another one that I've always heard about. But I use Robinhood. Yeah. So to start with, you guys sign up for Yahoo Finance, sign up for TradingView. On TradingView, you can create your watch list over here. So if you guys see over here, so this is how you add stocks to something. If you want to create a watch list, I think there is like forgot how you create it, but you'll see this thing here, right? You see this here. So you can, I think if you click on this, I can't really remember now, but it's really easy to use. Maybe it's this. Okay, right here. So if you click on this drop down, all right, you can create a list. You can add an alert on there. You can make a copy of your current list, or you can create a new one here, right? So I can create different sections. So on TradingView, this is how you create your thing. And on Yahoo Finance, if you search for any stock, right? Let's say I search for a stock, right? Once you are on that stock, if you click follow, by checking this thing, they will add it to your watch list here. So you can have a bunch of different watch lists, and you can add as many stocks as you want to it. So at least I feel like that's a good starting point. If you guys want to start, that's a good starting point.
Is TradingView a commission-free platform?
Yeah, no, it's just a tool you can use. So you don't actually trade on it.
Yeah.
Unless if you connect it the way I was showing you here. But I don't do my trading from their platform. I only just use them to visualize the chart. Then I'll
Oh,
open the app and do my trade on the app.
you connect it to one of these
But yes,
platforms.
TradingView can connect to one of these platforms, and you can now make your trade from TradingView to those platforms on the TradingView site. Yes.
Okay.
But the commission, I don't think they charge you commission. I think to have this feature, you have to probably sign up for their premium thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
TradingView, they don't charge commission. You pay for their service, which is the app itself, right? They have different versions. You pay for it, and that's it.
Okay, they have free version too.
They have free version you can use, yeah. So these are the three tools. And again, Yahoo Finance is good for news. Then would you pay attention to what's going on in the news? That would help. I'll let you guys know next week if this whole meeting thing going on between US and China helps the options that I bought on Friday. So, anyway, do you guys have any other question? I think we're at time.
I will reach out to you, Aziz.
Okay, yeah, sure. And I would I have I'll share the idea with you guys of pretty much how those lines get printed. It's just based on a concept in stock, an idea that is most likely always true. So and you guys, once I give you that, you can think of as many concepts in stock. Maybe you can buy a stock book or just anything that tells you, okay, when something like this happens, that is happening. Once you've confirmed that that is a true statement when it comes to the stock, then ChatGPT can always turn it into a code for you, always. And that's what all I did with that code that's printing the line. It was started from an idea. And once I have the idea, because every day I can be visualizing it, it's hard for me to visualize the thing because those candles going like that. So I was like, okay, you know what? Can you draw a line for me that just when the stock does what you said here, draw a line there so I can see it. And that's exactly what it did. But obviously, I tested the code so many times to get it right, but ChatGPT can pretty much do almost any of these things for you. Anyway, all right. So, well, thank you guys. So I'll talk to some of you guys during the week and some of you guys next week.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Z.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.